because it's sort of like, I want all of your stuff for nothing, and then we'll provide you the service the way we deem it to be appropriate. And we are really used to having an excellent level of service from our fire rescue and police, and we want to maintain that level of service. We're a little unhappy with the way the consolidated dispatch went down because of our unique situation with being at the end of the barrier island and having our own police and fire departments. We have always dispatched them out ourselves. The dispatchers have been there for a while. They know the city, the town rather. They know the layout, they know the streets, they know how to dispatch these calls for the most efficiency. And the county, as you know, approved the consolidated dispatch, and they did not allow us to opt out, which we were hoping to be able to do, which meant that we are still going to have to pay more money to the county to be a member of the consolidated dispatch. But the town council decided that because we're so used to our level of service, and there were various reasons, we were going to have to not have the police department open at night, and it's a safe haven for people, and it actually gets used that way. And the dispatchers do have other duties too, so they're not just there waiting for a call to come in. The council decided to go ahead and keep our dispatchers. So we'll be paying the county more money, plus be paying their salaries. And you know, it's a benefit that they decided to provide to the citizens. We want to make sure that whatever happens in the future with consolidation is to the benefit of our citizens.
Well, so you still have your own dispatcher.
Right.
So if someone dials 911, who do they get?
It's going to be, as I understand it, now I haven't delved into this recently, but as I understand it, it's going to go to the consolidated dispatch, but our local dispatcher will be listening in, and we'll be able to dispatch the call appropriately so that when the county dispatches evac, for instance, same time our guys will be, our men and women, will be dispatching our fire department. So if it's a rescue call, they can take their ambulance that we have in town, start the call immediately, get there within 2 minutes while we're waiting for evac, which sometimes is up to 10 minutes. That's a life or death situation. So
you have your own ambulance.
Yes.
You have your own fire truck.
2 fire trucks. Actually, 3 fire trucks. Two big engines and we call it a mini pumper.
So if I dial 911 in Ponce Inlet, I'm going to get your ambulance, your fire truck, your police officer. I'm going to get evac. I'm going to get the sheriff's department. We got 6, 7 vehicles moving on one call.
Doesn't sound very efficient, does it? I'm not real sure about the sheriff's department. I think for a medical call, they will not dispatch the sheriff. Depends on the call. But in Ponce Inlet, we normally do have that kind of a response. Evac comes later, of course, because we dispatch our own people first and then call evac. So, but I mean, the delay is very small. So it'll be fine for evac to be getting dispatched simultaneously. It's just...
But why? I mean, you've got an ambulance. Are you allowed to transport?
Well, you know, that's been a bone of contention recently, and there are some situations, as I understand it, that we can now dispatch for, transport in these limited situations. But that is a little bit of a challenge for a town our size because you don't have that many people on duty at a time.
Right.
So if you take 2 of them in the ambulance, and then at least 1 or 2 in the firehouse to cover the town.
So, and now that the county has taken over evac, how is that going to impact?
It remains to be seen.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. You were on the vision committee for your town?
I was.
And tell us a little bit about the vision.
The vision was supposed to be some sort of for the growth of the town. And the citizens at the time decided that we are a residential community, a small residential haven that has small businesses that serve the citizens' needs. So that has been kind of the mantra of this most recent council, is support the vision, support the vision. Well, what they've done by supporting the vision in the way they have is kind of put the thumb on all the businesses. Now, if you've been to North Turn, Down the Hatch, Inlet Harbor, Lighthouse Landing, Jerry's Restaurant, the Lighthouse itself for that matter, they're not small businesses that only support the local community. They bring people in from all over the place. The Lighthouse brings people in from all over the world. So the vision is not really realistic compared to reality from that perspective. So we need to just be cognizant of the fact that the vision is a very basic blueprint,
Okay.
but the reality is you have to look at what actually exists.
I got a silly question.
It was established in 1963.
1963?
It's not
It's
very
not that
old.
old.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
okay.
We're in our 47th year, I think.
There's a lot of cities around here today that have been around for
48th.
many years, and they're still trying to put together their vision.
Right.
It seems to me it's a little in hindsight, isn't it? That they're all these years, and we're still trying to do our vision.
Well, you know, the state recognized that things changed when they came up with the comprehensive plan requirement in the 80s, and it's required that every 10 years a town, city, whatever, revisits its comprehensive plan because things do change. See, when we did our comprehensive plan in the early 2000s, there was no such awareness of the working waterfront. There was no awareness of the manatee protection plan. Taxes were not that high, so we weren't that concerned about defraying the tax base over to the businesses. A lot of things have changed since then. So consequently, your comprehensive plan has to change too. So the state requires municipalities to address their comprehensive plan again every 10 years. And the vision is sort of the same way, that things do change. If we started off with 800 people, well, obviously now that we have 3,500 to 6,500, depending what time of year it is, it's a little different. So the visions do kind of have to change with the times.
Kind of tickles me that we have a town with 3,500 full-time residences.
You know, we like it that way.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you a bit. Do you
It's
have
beautiful.
any? Well, I live out in the woods out
Boonies,
there, in
right.
the boonies, and I like it out there
Right.
too. Do you have any idea what redistricting is going to do to you? Is it going to have any effect at all?
I have no idea. You know, while they're working on it, it's
Oh, they're making a mess
remains
out of
to
this.
be seen. So I guess the citizens are going to be having input now in the near future. So we'll see how that goes. It's always interesting because everybody has their own idea of what they want to get out of it.
Yeah. Well,
I think letting the citizens be involved is a good idea because, in general, they don't have an agenda like the elected officials do.
Yeah. If I wanted to run for county again, I'm in the situation where after redistricting, I can be either in District 1, District 2, or District 3. Because I'm right there, right on the corner.
The apex.
On the apex of these three districts where they come together. So even if I did want to run, not saying I will or not saying I won't,
Right.
but I have to wait until they get done with this redistricting.
Right.
Because I can't run for council at large anymore because that's the only seat on the county council that's not up for re-election in 2012.
Yeah, they're having the same situation that we are. Really, all 5 of our seats are up this fall.
We
So
have
vote
it.
on September 13th or before.
Vote early and vote often.
At least vote early if you can.
That's another point I like to drive home. Volusia County Council has 7 members. 6 of those seats are up for election in 2012. You have a chance to change the face of your county council. Make it effective and make it work for you. Changes need to be made there. How many members do you have on your town council?
5.
5. So, and 4 of those are up?
5.
All 5 of them?
Right.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know.
Well, of course, you changed 3 of them already. I mean, you guys are changing councilmen like
Like clothes.
clothes.
Yes, it's been an interesting year.
How's the crime down in that little town?
Well, on a day-to-day basis, it's very minimal. When I was on the council, however, you get the police reports every month, and it's amazing how much stuff goes on that the average citizen isn't aware of. So our police department is very important to us. We have a lot of break-ins, robberies off people's docks, things like that. People still leave their purses in their unlocked cars. I just can't believe it, and things like that. And there's somebody always out there watching. They're looking for opportunities. So lock your doors. Don't leave your valuables in your car. Just be aware that even though it's a small, very safe in general community, it still has people who are looking to victimize someone else.
Do you think that some of this crime is from within, or do you think it's people coming in from outside?
It's both.
It's both.
Yes, because they've caught enough of them that we know kind of what the mix
right.
is. Some of it's young people that just are mischievous. and they do live in the community or Wilbur, nearby. But some of it is opportunists coming into what they perceive as a wealthy community, and that they will have opportunities to get their hands on some nice things.
We covered this last show, but I'd like to cover it again. Code enforcement and comprehensive planning. Can you see the council envisioning a little bit more relaxation on the code enforcement and signage and so forth for the commercial businesses in your town?
Well, I'd like to see the future council do so. I don't think that the current and immediately past council have been very cooperative with the businesses, shall we say, in that regard. I think most of what has happened in the last year especially has been very restrictive to the businesses, and we need to readdress that. We need to make sure that the residents and the businesses live in harmony, so I'm not advocating all-out freedom for the businesses to go out and do whatever they want, but at the same time, they need to be able to maintain and grow their businesses, because I want them to have a sound business so that they're paying property taxes, so that I'm paying less and my neighbors are paying less. And our property values are still pretty high there, aside from the fact they've gone down a lot. And so consequently, I pay a fairly high dollar rate every year in taxes.
Well, Nancy, time flies when you're having fun.
No way.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah, it was. Would you like to take a minute to sum up what you envision and why, or when you're going to run, what you will do when you're elected back to the county council?
I would. One of the things I would like to do is restore communication, which was always a big thing that I was known for. In fact, the headline of the article when I was appointed mayor in 2005 was that I was up until midnight answering emails from angry citizens. I firmly believe that when you're elected to represent people, you should communicate with them so you know what they're thinking and know what the issues are. I don't know everything that's happening out there from my little home. I am very involved in the community, but there's still things that come up that I need to be told about. So I want to restore that communication link that I understand the current council isn't very strong with. I also want to work with the businesses and the residents to make sure that everybody is working together. Get people back into the meetings to have civil discourse and not yelling and screaming because they're so upset about something.
And
so,
you'll be visible.
I will be, I am and I will be.
Unlike many of our elected officials.
No, I'm out there a lot in my community. I've been a very involved community member since 1998.
Thank you, Nancy. It's really been a pleasure.
Eddie.
We're not done just yet. I got a little spiel here that, first of all, I want to say that this is Volusia County Issues. Please stop by and visit us. See you, and thank you very much.